this film, you know, and so I mean, I'm kidding, but but having seen it, it's so ahead of its time. It offers all the concepts that I'm trying to offer in my series, and but you've been able to encapsulate everything so well. And even last night, it would have been good after that. There was a question that sticks out of my mind that was asked last night. I don't know if you remember it, regarding Indians and wild animals. If she had seen this film, we should have just rolled this film, and then maybe she would have gotten a hint. So if you could talk about the production, how you came up with it, everything, are there things that stick out? Some memories of it.
Okay, well, how this came about was I lived in Tulsa at the time, and I was doing theater, and I had always, as I grew up, and when I went to the movies, the Indians were always losing, and plus all the good Indian parts were being played by non-Indians. And I used to think, surely there must be Indians out there that could do those parts. So there came one day when I decided, well, I should try to learn how to make movies so that I can make some changes. And so I applied to USC, Northeastern, and NYU. Then I heard about AFI, and I wrote a letter. Well, no, I saw a brochure, and I saw the names listed on that, and there was Charlton Heston's name was on there. He was on the board at the time. And I wrote him a letter, and he answered me back and sent me a brochure and an application and all that. So I filled it out, and after I filled it out, I sent it out, and I didn't think, well, I was going to hear anything about it, and I was really playing my Indian card. I was trying to get in there, And so I was doing all that stuff about poor Indians and all that kind of stuff. So, and then one day, I had my own shop at that time. I was restoring antique cars, and it was a Sunday, and I went to my shop to do some work, and I noticed mail had come through the slot in the door, and I saw this mailgram there, and I picked it up and I looked at it, and it said American Film Institute, and I thought, well, I'm not ready for bad news, so I just put it away. So I worked all day, and that afternoon I thought, well, I might as well get it over with. So I opened it up, and it said, congratulations, you're invited, and all that. And there I was in my place all by myself. I couldn't tell anybody. And so anyway, but they said, well, you got to send $100 to make sure we save your spot. And so I did. And next thing I know, the theater company in Tulsa had a fundraiser for me so they could send me out here. And so then I came out here that September of 1979. And one of the first things they asked me was for subject matter for my first piece, and they said, you should do whatever you want. And I had seen this article in a paper about what would Indians do if they got their country back. And he had written it very humorously, so I thought, well, I would like to do that. So I wrote the screenplay, and then I did a video of it first, and then it got picked up for a second year, and then that's what you see here is the final piece. So that's the history of how it came about.
Sounds simple enough, right? Yeah. It sounds like a long journey there, Bob.
It was.
And if you have so many great moments in here. Is there a moment you can talk about that? It's something about production. I'm sure there must have been several quirky production people you have stories about.
The medicine guy that I got, I flew him out from Oklahoma because I wanted him to play the medicine guy, and I worked with him in the theater, and plus we both speak the same language, and so I brought him out, him and his wife. And I remember when I was auditioning, and remember the scene where they're rolling around in the dirt and all of that. Well, I had put in the paper that I was looking for a blonde, shapely person to wear a bikini or body stockings. And boy, I tell you, I was surprised at how many of them showed up.
It hasn't changed much.
So anyway, I'm rolling around on the floor, and Woodrow's sitting over there watching and everything, and I thought maybe he'd get bored. I went over to him, I said, Wood, I said, you can go home if you want to. He said, oh, no. It's about your business. That's how that went.
And can you actually talk about the woman who played the role? Did she understand what she was playing? Did she understand what you were doing?
When I did the video, I had used another lady. One thing about AFI is that they have they work with SAG, and they have a book of headshots and all of that, and so I picked a lady out of that for my first one. But when I did the film, I began to audition other people for that. She popped up, and she had done a lot of commercials before that, so she was the one that I picked to play the commissioner. I thought she did a good job.
She did great. I just was she. I mean, did you talk with her about what she was representing in terms of the grandmothers of my grandmother's a Cherokee princess. I have this affinity with Native culture. The leather skirt she was wearing. The whole thing. That's common today.
I noticed she was kind of hesitant when she's talking to the medicine guy and said, you got to make an appointment. You understand what appointment is, and she felt like she didn't like it because she was talking down to him, And then everybody on the set kind of thought Woodrow was a medicine person, so she had a problem with that. But I said, don't worry about it. She went ahead and did the job.
Yeah.
So I guess she was just respectful the entire time.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Everybody was, because I had a real short shooting schedule, and the dance scene, we did that at the old AFI. I don't know if you all are familiar in Beverly Hills, and I was supposed to have 3 nights to shoot that dance scene, and I had shot one day, and then the next day I came into the office and they said that I had lost the 3rd day. So I was down to 1 night, and so when the cast showed up, I told them that we couldn't shoot tomorrow night, so I would like for them, if they wanted to stay all night, because Lois had to be out of the school at 11 p.m. every night, and they said, yeah, we'll be here. So when they locked the gate, we stayed there all night long shooting. We shot all night until the sun came up. I had a scene where I had the medicine man doing the tap dance, but since I didn't have enough time, we cut that out. and also the Hitchcock thing too. That if you remember that crane coming down with the thing, I can't recall the side.
I really like all of them. Actually, Erica, can you grab some water for me, please? Some bottled water. Thank you, Pam. Thank you. Those are. I mean, there's a lot of different shots. And the lighting was great too. You had a great DP. Was your crew native for the most part?
No, they didn't have any native crew. Well, it's 79 now, and when I put a notice out for Indian children for me to cast, only 2 showed up, and so that told me that they really weren't into performing at that time. So I had to use non-Indians to fill up those kids. But when I put a call out for the white kids, well, I'll tell you, they showed up. Cajuns.
Oh.
So you could really see the difference in how they thought at that time. But it's much better, especially last night when I was watching the American Indian actors. Things have really come a long way since that time. I'm glad to see that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Bob. You know, you laid all the groundwork. You know, really you did. You know, and speaking of groundwork, I would like to talk about First Americans, but before I do, I'd like to bring up the indefatigable, the amazing Dawn, the Action Jackson. Where are you, Dawn? If you can come up, please. Thank you, Jen. So I'm going to give you the mic, Dawn, and if you guys can just, you know, tell us a little bit how it started, and you know, I would like to hear some quirky stories about some things that happened in First American as well. Please, nothing about me, because I know that was not pleasant. But here you go.
How it began was Don and I used to have breakfast every Saturday, and she had come in from Texas and was going to be a costume designer. So we'd have breakfast at Bob's Big Boy, and then we'd have breakfast, and then we'd go to the movie. So that was like a ritual all the time. Well, about that time, Dances with Wolves had come out, and I was running the registry at the time. And I looked around and I noticed that the blacks and Latinos and Asians had award shows, and there was nothing like Native American. So at breakfast time, I pitched to Don. I said, I've been thinking about this award show, and I said, what do you think? Do you think it would work? And so she said, yeah, I think it would work. And so from that point on, we began to plan it out, and I had named 10 people. Well, we were the two, and then there's eight more people that came aboard at that time. And we met at Sherry Foster's home. She's sitting right there. And I made the pitch to them. And what I wanted to do was do the first one at the Roosevelt Hotel, because that's where the first Academy Awards were held in 1929, and in the Blossom Room, and that was still available. And but they said we had to put $500 down for a deposit, and so we did. The board members pitched in, and we put $500 down. But when the time came towards the awards, we had to kick in like $3,000, and we didn't have it. And so we lost our $500. And I at a board meeting, you know, I said, well, maybe we just need to pull the plug on this. And PR had already gone out at that time that we were going to have it on this date, February. And so I don't know if it was Don or somebody, one person said, we should have something, even if it's a little small thing. And because the word's gone out, and so something should be done. So we began to look around and found a restaurant on Wilshire Boulevard called Andre's.
It's Andre's of Beverly Hills. We wanted a Beverly Hills address.
We did. So all the meetings were being held at Sherry's house, and that's what we decided to do. But we said, I told him, I said, if we don't have it by Friday, then we need to pull the plug. So everybody was looking around, and I think it was Mara's. Mara
duty.
Mara was the only one that had a credit card at the time. So she had to secure it for us.
Yeah, and so that's where we had our first one.
But there was a real funny thing that happened the first night. Everyone came to my house to get dressed, and we were all excited, and it was like such a big event, been working all day. and my toilet overflowed.
Sounds like first American.
We were all waiting in water, but we all got there. That just was really funny. And Bob was there dressing, and Dawn. It was hysterical.
The first year, too, we handmade the certificates. And the last day, I found this gold leaf, and I thought, I'll iron it on. It's real easy, just iron it. So like an hour before the awards, we needed to get out the door and get over to the restaurant. And I was ironing in my gown, and I was ironing the awards. I think there were 16 awards that year. And they all got the